she dreamed of being a talk show host. Good boy, Charlie. And now she is. Pretty cool. Come on, Charlie. Who's going to be on your show today, Aunt Connie?
From CSI New York, Gary Sinise. Author of The Man Plan, Whitney Casey. Star from My Bloody Valentine 3D, Jamie King. And a web chat with my mom, Alice.
Okay, Aunt Connie. Ready? Clear chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Bonnie.
We have a woman on today, Whitney, that wrote this book. It's like the #1 dating book on Amazon.com. I read parts of it. I didn't read the whole thing, I'll be really honest. It's going to be an interesting conversation because she interviewed all these men about how women should be in order to be successful in a relationship.
How women should be successful in this.
Yes. We'll be back with relationship expert Whitney Casey, Jamie King from My Bloody Valentine. We have a young woman come out here that wrote a book about dating, so it'll be interesting to talk to her.
Ahead, the Man Plan author Whitney Casey shares her theories with Bonnie.
Because men are so sensory loaded. They see it, they smell it, they touch it, they take it. And that's it, hopefully.
Yeah. Next guest interviewed 250 men and 100 experts, then wrote a book telling women how to become everything that a man desires. It's currently the #1 dating book on Amazon.com. Please welcome the author of The Man Plan, Whitney Casey. So tell us about the research you did for your book, The Man Plan, which is really selling like hotcakes on Amazon.com. And I did read some of it. Some of it I had to close because it gets you riled up a little bit.
It does. I interviewed 250 men and 100 experts. I'm a former CNN journalist.
Right.
So I sort of took my journalism background and I said, you know what, I'm going to put this to work for women because I'm single and I wanted to know, it was kind of like the mole. You know, you say you have sisters. I had a sister also, but instead, having a lot of brothers, you get to know exactly what
I have
every
3 older
man
brothers.
thinks.
Yeah, I had the inside scoop.
So the inside scoop on what 250 men really think about women, the way they smell, they touch, they taste, everything.
Wow.
Yes.
You really go into detail.
Oh, yes.
Now, you've dated some of the guys that you interviewed, like Lance Armstrong, correct?
And Rocco DeSpirito, and my former husband was a football player.
They're all kind of similar type of personalities, wouldn't you say?
Very confident men. Very confident men.
Acting confident.
No, I do believe those men were very confident. High-achieving men are typically very confident men, and that's what I'm attracted to. But you know what's interesting? What Lance says on the back, he says, how attractive is a confident woman? Very. And so he says women need to learn how to own their assets and limit their liabilities. And that's what I try to tell women, because if you don't know what your assets are and you don't know what your liabilities are with a man, you're never going to get anywhere, because men are so sensory loaded. They see it, they smell it, they touch it, they take it. And that's it, hopefully.
But if you're going to go out there and start dating, you got a text. And I was like, a text? What is that? Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone.
That's it. I mean, yes, but if that's the way he's going to communicate, and you need
but who establishes? I mean,
the men should. I think men should establish the communication.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think a woman has to have a strong sense of self, know who she is, and lovingly open her heart to somebody who is respectful and can step up to the plate and say, I'd like to date you, or I'd like to take you out, and to pick up that phone. I want a guy to say, you know what, I want to make sure you got home okay.
They should say that. Yeah. They definitely should. However, and there's been a lot of criticism, openly, I'll say this, about my book, because people say that it takes you back at sort of retro feminism. And in fact, my editor, a very strong, self-confident woman, said, wow, I'm going to buy a book that makes me think about what men want.
No, I think it's interesting. No, I think we should care, and it is interesting for discussion. And it's like, I have a friend here, Matt, in the audience. Matt, do you mind me saying this? When Matt was younger, we used to get in these huge arguments because he would say, I took this girl home last night. I said, Matt, do you think you're ever going to call her? He goes, no. And I go, what do you mean no? He goes, she knows. I go, she knows what? He goes, she went home with me. She knows. I go, she knows what?
She knows
she knows. If she went home with me, she knows I'm not going to call her. I said, why? Right? You used to say that to me?
Back in the day.
I said when you were younger, not
When I was younger, yes, but you know, over the years, I've changed my ways.
Well, did she smell bad? Did she? Oh, wow. You know, what was it? I'm not telling women don't have this great personality. Like not putting potpourri next to your bed because they're going to think it's food. I mean, you want them to live, right?
That's funny. I put food next to my bed instead of potpourri.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Exactly.
Wow, you can't get them out of bed then, I bet. Uh-oh.
No, I can't. There's someone waiting for me there now. The Man Plan is in stores now, and everyone in the audience is going home with a copy. Matt, you could have written this. This is going on. Matt now met Whitney. Matt in the audience, and Matt said she knows. No. Well, this is kind of cute. All right. Well, I'll keep you up to date, audience, on what happens with these two. It's kind of exciting. Our next guest is a friend of mine. We work together on Cheaper by the Dozen, too. You guys can go sit down. You don't want to stand there.
Can we?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you want
on the date?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, really. Anyway. We're going to take our guests today, my sweetheart, Gary Sinise, Whitney Casey, Jamie King, and of course my mom, Alice.